What are they cutting?
No, wait till he gets done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When he's done,
They're cutting the street budget.
I'll ask somebody else to
by
talk.
X amount of dollars, I don't know if it's 50%, it's over 50. And then they throw in the ballot language where 40% of lost tax will go to repair streets, which we've been paying taxes for how many years already to take care of our streets. That, to me, to them, is a strategy. To me, it's a dirty political ploy. All I wanted to say.
Okay, your turn.
I just was, well, I have my own opinions about it, but I wasn't aware that they were cutting the streets budget by 60%. Is that true?
57.
No, Lisa, there's no button. We're gonna do this.
They are cutting the budget?
No, he can answer.
Yes. Not 60%, but it is cut, and it is cut half. And I think the reason, I didn't realize it was a dirty political ploy, because I certainly wouldn't want to be part of it. But on the other hand, you know, we went for the past 20 years underfunding street repairs. Now, you're not going to fix that overnight. And as in our plan, we're looking at 20 years to revitalize the funding to repair the streets. I don't think anybody wants to argue that the streets don't need attention. They certainly do. But you know, we're in a position that you can't just make up the funding. We don't want to affect property taxes. There are some real benefits to the local option sales tax. I know that it's regressive. On the other hand, there are a lot of people who pay the local option sales tax that don't pay any property taxes, and they're driving on the streets all the time. So, you know, I apologize for anybody who thinks it's a dirty political ploy.
Nothing in politics happens by coincidence.
No, don't go out of turn. You'll get your turn at the end.
I'm sorry.
You know, I don't know how, when you get elected to a position like a council member, all of a sudden, you go brain dead. You know, doggone it, we are there with the best intentions. I'm sorry that perhaps they don't come out being the best intentions to everybody. It's not easy to, well, matter of fact, it's impossible to solve the problems for everyone. We're taking a legitimate attempt at raising the funds, other than through property taxes, to take care of a problem that has been created over many, many years. It didn't just happen last year. It didn't just get ignored 2 years ago. It's been ignored for 20 or 30 years, where they have cut short.
Sorry about your 2 minutes.
The budget. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your turn.
But my question wasn't
No.
answered. It
Didn't
wasn't
you-
answered.
What?
But
We're not gonna have it. You can open it up after the end of the meeting. Lisa, you wanna talk?
I just want to explain the way that I understood it. The reason it's
Well, you
cut
can
is
ask the
that's
question at the
because
end after everybody else. Sorry about that.
Chuck started the budget committee. I understood that it was cut back to the normal budget. Last year, the city received the stimulus money or something for roads, and that's why there was a larger budget for the roads last year. And now it's just been cut back to the original budget, you know, closer to the original budget prior to that stimulus money, is the way I've understood it from, I think, the mayor's point of view.
You wanna talk, Chuck?
I would clarify what Lisa said and what Chuck said. People will believe what they want to believe.
Right.
But what Lisa just said is correct.
Okay.
Now, I will clarify, the 3 years I've been on the committee, on the council, I have each year fought for more money to go into streets, but to keep the budget so we don't raise property tax, because that's where it comes from, folks. So we don't raise property taxes. They always still, just like Chuck said, for 40 years, it's been 60 years that's gone overboard. But the thing is, then get to Lisa's. This year, it's approximately $19 million that's going to go to that. 2 years ago, within about $500,000, it was the same amount. Last year, it was $35 million, but that big bump there was because of federal money we got as a result of the floods that got put into streets. So the part that's true that you're talking about is they haven't been putting all the councils, commission, form of government, whatever, they have never kept up the streets. And the reason for that has always been, to keep up the streets, you gotta pay it out of the property taxes, and people didn't wanna get people upset by raising the property taxes. So the easiest thing to ignore, they just kept ignoring the streets.